Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected the latest conditions set by Hamas for the release of hostages held in Gaza. This comes after a weekend of protests calling on the Israeli government to do more to bring the hostages home. Well, this was the scene in Tel Aviv late Saturday, where thousands of people gathered to protest against the country's leadership. Many are calling for new elections. It's now more than 3 months since Israel launched its counter-offensive in Gaza after the unprecedented cross-border attacks by Hamas on October 7th. Hamas is classified as a terrorist organization by most Western countries. We can now speak to journalist Sami Sockol, who joins us from Jerusalem. So, Sami, Israeli Prime Minister has just issued a statement saying that he's rejecting the latest demands from the militant group Hamas over hostage releases. What more can you tell us about his statement?
Yeah, so the statement is very clear. He's saying that if Israel would release the prisoners that Hamas is demanding, would stop the war, would withdraw and take out the forces from the Gaza Strip, and then that would mean that all the soldiers that have died until now in battle, their death would have been in vain, and that Israel will not be able to protect its borders. But I must say that we hear here in Israel officials that are saying that Israel will engage in talks, and we're talking about talks that, according to the Wall Street Journal, will take place in Cairo. There are 4 countries that are behind them, which is the United States, Egypt, and Qatar, and they're trying to push the Hamas and Israel to reach some agreement. According to this agreement, there will be 90 days. It will be spread over 90 days, and it will include the ceasefire and the gradual exchange of prisoners. So we have to see where this will lead to.
And meanwhile, in Gaza, the health ministry there, which is run by Hamas, has said that more than 25,000 people have died in the territory since the war began. I'm interested to hear just how much coverage there is in Israeli domestic media about the situation for Palestinians in Gaza, and if you can tell us what the public makes of the situation there.
Yeah, if you look into this report, they also say that 75% of those who were killed are women, children, and elderly, and more than 60,000 have been wounded. Well, there's not a wide coverage of these kinds of figures in Israel. The kind of images that you can see on networks throughout the world of what's happening inside the Gaza Strip do not usually appear on the screens of the Israeli networks. But I would say that by and large, the Israeli public doesn't feel much sympathy towards the Gazans. Many here say that they support Hamas. They say that the public opinions have shown that both Gazans and West Bankers have supported the attack on the 7th of October. And this is often an opinion that you will hear in the streets.
That was journalist Sami Sockol reporting from Jerusalem. Many thanks indeed for your time.